Look at me, I'm a beautiful creature. I don't care about your modern time preacher. Welcome boys, too much noise, I will teach ya. Pum pum po, pum pum po. Hey, I think you forgot that I play. My teddy bear's running away. The Barbie got something to say. Hey, 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 hey. My summer says leave me alone. I'm taking my Pikachu home. You're stupid just like you're smart. Wonder Woman, don't you ever forget. You're divine and he's about to regret. He's a buck up, I'm not your toy, not your toy. You stupid boy, stupid boy. I'll take you down now, make you watch me dancing with my dolls on the motherfucker beat. Not your toy.
So speaking about diversity from a social context, one of the problems that Israel will have to consider as it moves towards becoming this high-tech nation is the potential for success in that kind of economy for people who are new to the country. And this has to do with the fact that Israel isn't like some of the other advanced economies that have pursued the same strategy. Countries like Japan and South Korea are good examples, mainly because in those countries in particular, the population is very homogeneous. Most of the people who live there were born there, and their parents were born there, and so on. Meaning that while the policies and the opportunities of those countries change, most of the population experienced that same change. In other words, for any industry, each person was either equally prepared or equally unprepared to compete. For Israelis, this isn't really true, because to say that someone is an Israeli says something different than saying that someone is Japanese or Korean. I mean, one of the things we were told a lot on the trip was that Israel isn't like other nations. It's sort of a shelter more than it is an economic unit. It's one that accepts Jews from all over the world, wherever they are, and they don't always consider the circumstances of those people. Something like 1 million people, or 1/10 the population of Israel, came from the former Soviet Union. 60,000 came from Ethiopia. And the problem is in this diversity, obviously, is more a question of whether Israel can fill the gaps for these people in terms of education, or they fall short of being able to compete in something like a high-tech industry, or otherwise you leave these people to do sort of menial jobs that don't pay nearly as well, working in hotels and restaurants, and you wind up with a wide income disparity, quite like you see forming in Israel right now. And so this is a problem which will need to be dealt with as Israel continues to grow, and it will take efforts of the state and the private sector.
I'll take you down now, make you watch me dancing with my dolls on the motherfucker beat. Not your toy. I need a boo bot, and you go on the pig, and I'm beating a button. I need a boo bot, and you go on the pig. Shit, kululu, wedding bells ringing, kululu, money man bling bling. I don't care about your stuff, baby. Pum pum po, drum pum po. Wonder Woman, don't you ever forget. You're divine and he's about to revive. He's a buck up, I'm not your toy, not your toy. You stupid boy, stupid boy. I'll take you down now, make you watch me dancing with my dolls on the motherfucker beat. Not your toy, not your toy. You stupid boy, stupid.
According to HR lead at Microsoft Israel, Efrat Liani, diversity is defined as the full range of human and/or organizational differences and similarities inclusive of everyone. Israel is an extremely diverse country in terms of race, ethnicity, national origin, religion, gender, sexuality, and age. This diversity is both an obstacle and an advantage to the Israeli business sector. As of 2018, Israel has a population of over 8 million people. There are a further 4 million individuals in the Palestinian territories of the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. As a Jewish state, about 75% of the Israeli population is Jewish. The Jewish diaspora resulted in many Jews making their way or return to Israel. These Jews hail from all over the world, including European Ashkenazi Jews as well as Arab Sephardic Jews. 18% of Israeli Jews are ultra-Orthodox, whereas 43% are secular. However, the birth rate of religious Jews is increasing at a higher rate relative to the general population. By 2028, ultra-Orthodox Jews are expected to make up 1/5 of the Israeli population. 20% of the country is composed of non-Jewish Arabs. The remaining 5% of the population is defined as other, including Christians and Muslims who are non-Arab, Druze, Kurds, and Bedouins. 70% of the Jewish population in Israel was born in the country. 21% emigrated from Europe and the Americas, and 9% emigrated from Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. A large portion of the population of European descent comes from post-Soviet states. There are 650 foreign nationals of Baha'i faith in Israel. Israel is home to about 70,000 refugees from African countries and 300,000 foreign workers from all over the world. The official languages of Israel are Hebrew and Arabic. 50% of Israeli people speak Hebrew as their native language and 18% speak Arabic. The most widely spoken non-official languages are English and Russian. As many Israelis are multilingual, this is beneficial in the global business world. Israel is one of the most LGBT-friendly countries in Asia, as well as the most tolerant country in the Middle East. While Israel does not perform gay marriages, it recognizes same-sex marriages from abroad. Tel Aviv is often referred to as the gay capital of the Middle East, and the majority of the population supports LGBT rights. Liberal views towards women and LGBT people have tended to clash with the beliefs of the ultra-Orthodox population, as well as the conservative Palestinian population. These clashes lead to challenges in the business place. 62% of the country falls between the ages of 15 to 64, primed to enter the workforce.
With such a pluralistic society, Israeli firms must learn how to manage diversity in business. Liani describes inclusion as the process of leveraging the power of differences and similarities to effectively achieve a common goal or objective. How can Israeli firms create a cohesive, inclusive workforce? Liani says diversity is the measure, inclusion is the mechanism. She presents the business case for diversity and inclusion. Diversity allows for an expanded talent pool, which can only help when doing business. Furthermore, diversity matters to job seekers. Research shows that 67% of job seekers consider a diverse workforce an important factor when evaluating companies. Studies have also shown that diverse teams are more likely to discover innovative solutions and achieve high-performance results. Fortune 500 has found that innovation is positively and significantly correlated with racial diversity. High representation of women is correlated with 10% higher return on equity, 48% higher earnings before interest and taxes, and 1.7% increase in stock price growth. For every 1% increase in gender diversity, company revenue increases by 3%. Higher rates of ethnic diversity increase revenue by 15%. Israeli firms should harness Israel's diversity in order to create unique innovations that would not exist in other countries, as well as ensure respect for all people. Israel's diversity is its strength. Dean of Netanya Academic College, Edna Rabenu, outlines changes in workforce characteristics such as an increasingly diverse workforce. For example, she explains the issue or an ultra-Orthodox Jewish man having to shake hands with a female employee. Diversity presents obstacles in the workforce that firms must turn into success. Employers should push for a culture of tolerance and inclusion of all people in order to ensure that diversity is key to building a tolerant, innovative society and business in the 21st century Israel. Diversity specific to Israel positions the nation for a booming business future.